A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 13, Images of the Kingdom. That same day, Jesus left the house and sat by the lakeside. But such large crowds gathered round him that he got into a boat and sat there. The people all stood on the shore, and he told them many things in parables. Parable of the sower. He said, "Listen, a sower went out to sow. As he sowed, some seeds fell on the edge of the path, and the birds came and ate them up. Others fell on patches of rock where they found little soil and sprang up at once, because there was no depth of earth. But as soon as the sun came up, they were scorched, and not having any roots, they withered away. Others fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked them. Others fell on rich soil and produced their crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. Anyone who has ears should listen." Why Jesus speaks in parables? Then the disciples went up to him and asked, "Why do you talk to them in parables?" In answer, he said, "Because to you it is granted to understand the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not granted. Anyone who has will be given more and will have more than enough. But anyone who has not will be deprived even of what he has." The reason I talk to them in parables is that they look without seeing and listen without hearing or understanding. So in their case, what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah is being fulfilled. Listen and listen, but never understand. Look and look, but never perceive. This people's heart has grown coarse, their ears dulled. They have shut their eyes tight to avoid using their eyes to see, their ears to hear, their heart to understand, changing their ways and being healed by me. But blessed are your eyes because they see, your ears because they hear. Amen, I say to you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see and did not see it, to hear what you hear and did not hear it." The parable of the sower explained. So hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the kingdom without understanding, the evil one comes and carries off what was sown in the heart. This is the seed sown on the edge of the path. The seed sown on patches of rock is someone who hears the word and welcomes it at once with joy. But such a person has no root deep down and does not last. Should some trial come or some persecution on account of the word, at once that person falls away. The seed sown in thorns is someone who hears the word, but the worry of the world and the lure of riches choke the word, and so it produces nothing. And the seed sown in rich soil is someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who yields a harvest and produces in one case 100-fold, in another 60, in another 30. Parable of the darnel. He put another parable before them. The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a man who sowed good seed in his field. While everybody was asleep, his enemy came, sowed darnel all among the wheat, and made off. When the new wheat sprouted and ripened, Then the weeds appeared as well. The owner's servants went to him and said, "Sir, was it not good seed that you sowed in your field? If so, where do the weeds come from?" He said to them, "Some enemy has done this." And the servants said, "Do you want us to go and collect it in?" But he said, "No, because when you collect the weeds, you might pull up the wheat with it. Let them both grow till the harvest. And at harvest time, I shall say to the reapers, 'First, collect the weeds and tie them in bundles to be burnt. Then gather the wheat into my barn.'" Parable of the mustard seed. He put another parable before them. "The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all the seeds, but when it has grown, it is the biggest of shrubs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and shelter in its branches." Parable of the yeast. He told them another parable. "The kingdom of heaven is like the yeast a woman took and mixed in with 3 measures of flour till it was leavened all through." In all this, Jesus spoke to the crowds in parables. Indeed, he would never speak to them except in parables. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet. "I will open my mouth in parables, unfold what has been hidden since the foundation of the world." Parable of the wheat and the darnel explained. Then, leaving the crowds, he went to the house. And his disciples came to him and said, "Explain to us the parable about the weeds in the field." He said in reply, "The sower of the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed is the subjects of the kingdom. The weeds, the subjects of the evil one, the enemy who sowed them, the devil. The harvest is the end of the world. The reapers are the angels. Well then, just as the weeds are gathered up and burnt in the fire, so it will be at the end of time. The Son of Man will send his angels, and they will gather out of his kingdom all causes of stumbling and all who do evil, and throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine like the sun in the kingdom of their Father." Anyone who has ears should listen. Parables of the hidden treasure and the pearl. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field which someone has found. He hid it again, goes off in his joy, sells everything he owns, and buys the field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went and sold everything he owned and bought it. Parable of the dragnet. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet cast in the sea and bringing in a haul of all kinds of fish. When it was full, they brought it ashore. Then sitting down, they collected the good ones in baskets and threw away the rotten ones. So it will be at the end of time. The angels will come out and separate the wicked from the righteous, to throw them into the blazing furnace where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Conclusion. Have you understood all these things? They said to him, Yes. And he said to them, Well then, every scribe instructed for the kingdom of heaven is like a householder who brings out from his storeroom new things as well as old. The word of the Lord. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 13, verse 53, a visit to Nazareth. When Jesus had finished these parables, he left there, and coming to his hometown, he began to teach the people in their synagogue in such a way that they were astonished, and said, Where did the man get this wisdom and these works of power? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brothers James and Joseph and Simon and Jude? And are not all his sisters with us? So where did he get all this? And they took offense at him. But Jesus said to them, A prophet is without honor only in his own country and in his own house. And he did not do many deeds of power there because of their lack of faith. The word of the Lord.